And we are live on YouTube.
Hey.
So welcome to Love and Money Secrets TV on YouTube. I hope this is one of your favorite channels. And we have my lovely, beautiful friend and gem here, Deb Gilliland.
Yeah.
And Deb just started, we have a mutual friend, Ann Bandini, who's a jewel of a human being. I've known her since 2000, I want to say 2012 or so, 11, 12 in there. And she introduced us to each other. And as a direct result of that introduction, you decided to get started on a program of stem cell activation patches, right, Deb?
That's right.
All right, Deborah. So why don't you tell our friends so that they kind of get an idea of what was your pain point? What was the thing that prompted you to even have an open ear to stem cells, let alone stem cell activation patches?
Well, actually, I used to be in the health field. I'm a registered nurse, and so whenever you talk about those kinds of things, my ears always perk up. But specifically for me right now, I've been struggling with a stomach ulcer, and it has been I've been fine for the last 2 years. It only would come up about every 3 or 4 months that I would have an issue, but this past October, a couple months ago, I had stopped at McDonald's to meet somebody in the parking lot, and I thought it was really, really early, so I thought I'm just going to get a coffee. And that afternoon, I was just a mess. I mean, my stomach was hurting, and I was writhing. I mean, it's not just like, oh, I got a stomach ache. No, this is like full on. You can't lay down. You can't sit up. You're turning around. I mean, I was very, very in a bad way. And I tried my usual stuff like omeprazole and Pepcid and Tums, and it said the recording stopped, I heard. Are you still there? Lillian, are you still there?
So we left off, apparently my internet connection, not yours, even though you have the inclement weather, because my internet connection had dropped.
That's okay.
I apologize for that. But you said that you were an RN, so your ears always perk up when it comes to things having to do with anything health related, and you had this stomach ulcer that for a couple of years, 2 years, you said.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I had just had an incident. I don't know if you caught me whenever I was talking about how I had a cup of coffee from McDonald's.
Oh no, I didn't catch that. Like I said, we just.
Oh, okay. So in October, I was meeting up with an upholsterer because I do interior design also. Now that's what my main thing is. I've done that for like 30 some years. Anyway, and so I was meeting an upholsterer there at McDonald's parking lot really early, and I went and got a cup of coffee, and I drank the whole thing, and not even thinking, because I haven't had issues for a few months, and so that afternoon and the evening I was a mess. I mean, I was full on excruciating pain. I couldn't sit, sleep, I couldn't do anything. I just walked the floor. It was a horrible thing. And I tried my usual stuff, omeprazole, Pepcid, Tums, and nothing helped me. I just drank water. That's all every time I got a drink, I had a little bit of help, and then it was full back on. And so I was so frustrated. And finally, after several hours, it went away. But I thought, I've got to do something. I don't know what to do. And so I went on YouTube to see, okay, what is anybody else is doing? Is there somebody recommending something? And, the usual bone broth, like aloe vera juice, licorice root, and a probiotic. Okay. And those are all good. Those were good. And so I tried them all. And I did have a bit of relief. But every 3 or 4 days, it would come back. I thought I was going to get well, and then it would come back. And I also, something else, I found out I could only eat little bitty meals, and mostly I didn't eat anything. I mean, I just I didn't want that pain. I didn't want to eat anything at all. I mean, and I've basically taken red meat out of my whole, and I'm still haven't eaten red meat since October. But I'm a farm girl, and so that's really a changing of the lifestyle for me. And I think that is one thing good that's come out of all this anyway, is my my lifestyle of how I'm eating. But so I was talking to Anne, and like you said, Anne connected us, and I learned so much about this company, LifeWave. I mean, it's just amazing. And how David Schmitz, the guy who started his company, and how he was doing research and came up with this technology that I'm so grateful for. And I know thousands of people that are grateful too, that I someday maybe we'll meet. But I've heard so many testimonies. And so on a Zoom with you, thank you very much. I heard some really good things, and I got on the Fabulous 5, and thinking, okay, this is going to help me. I got on the X39, the X49, the Aeon, the glutathione, and the carnosine. And I was on these for about a week, and I didn't really feel a lot of change with my stomach, because I'm like, okay, Lord, I just been praying about it, and I'm asking the Lord. I felt like this was the right pathway. And I didn't have the relief right away that I thought I would, but I did sleep better. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And so again, I was talking to Anne again about it, and she recommended I get together with Dr. Mel, who she must have seen on Telegram, which I so appreciate the Telegram, those groups. Yes, because there's so much information there. Oh my goodness. I just thank you so much. I appreciate that communication with each other, with other people's problems and such.
4,100 people who are actually on the patches, and we have a lot of the doctors, because we have 711 doctors, holistic care practitioners. We just had one that joined he just started a couple weeks ago, him and his wife. She's a theta healer. He's an osteopath from Spain. And so the doctors are able to chime in, and anyone who has anything 24/7 around the clock, as you know. Dr. Mel, she's our gut specialist in our group. So those 4,100 people are active users of the patches. And in the 4,100, I'm one of the holistic care practitioners. And like I said, Dr. Mel, she's our gut specialist. So tell us about what happened, because you started on the patches. So continue with your story.
Yes. Okay. And so then I got in on a Zoom with Dr. Mel. She was giving me 20 minutes time. I could ask anything I wanted, and she answered all my questions. And Dr. Stacy came on too. I couldn't believe it. So I had 2 people.
Oh, you had doctors. Wow. So you have 5 PhDs, because Dr. Stacy has an integrative medicine PhD and functional medicine degree, and Dr. Mel has 3 degrees. As young as she's under 30, but she
oh my goodness, I did not know that.
Yes, so you have a lot of oh wow.
I was taking notes, and oh my goodness, it was amazing. 20 minutes goes just like that, when you're trying to get every bit. But the main things that they told me, not only one of the things was the probiotic, that I need to be at 50 to 90,000 billion. It's billion. Probiotic, anyway. And so that was the change I needed to do. But they recommended adding with what I have, adding the SP6 patch. And so, and that's for organs, right? I need to investigate that a little bit more because I just.
So let me review with you, because you know what, when we had our Zoom meeting, there's a lot of information to cover.
Yes.
And as you, repetition helps with the absorption of information. So I'm going to just share with you really quick here, the stem cell. We're going to go down to SP6.
Yes.
And SP6 has to do with the digestive system. Here we go. So this is SP6. And
yes.
SP6 has to do with if you have appetite and cravings, it will suppress it. If you don't, then that stem cell activation patch will go to repair the other things. One of the things that I love about this one is not only does it increase digestive function, which in your particular case makes total sense why they would recommend this patch. It increases your organ function, balances your hormones and hypothalamus, and it regulates your autonomic nervous system. So this patch goes a long ways to increase your overall function having to do with digestion and your autonomic nervous system, which we know that the brain is one of the three brains in the body. You have the gut brain, the heart brain, and then the brain. Everyone acknowledges the brain. And so science has been better, I would say, in the last 20 to 25 years to embrace the fact that your gut is, you have a gut brain in addition to a heart brain and a brain.
Right. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? How we've been made. That's amazing. So she told me, just for specifics, the X39 to be put 2 inches below the belly button, and the AON 2 inches above, and the glutathione 2 inches to the right, towards my right hand, and then the SP6 2 inches to the left. So it's like a diamond around your belly button. And so I had that on for a couple of days, and I could feel my stomach like just settle down. It just settled down. I'm like, because I'm every time I eat, I brace for pain to come or the start of something. I'm like, no, this is not going to happen. I'm expecting, and I think there's an expectation that we need, and I just determined that this is going to help me. I just know it is. I've had good expert advice, and I've had lots of good testimonies of other people, and so I choose that I want this to happen for me too, because I needed something to happen. But after the third day, it's like I'm on like the third. This is the third or fourth day. I feel normal. I mean, I have not had any issues. It doesn't even. It's like it's in the past, And so something's totally shifted, and I feel great. I'm sleeping, and it's just really, really good. And I totally recommend it. If anybody has got issues with this, if I can help anybody, I want to tell you that you need to go and get these patches. They work. I'm telling you, they work. And here's another side. And all of this, I've lost 20 pounds in the last 2 months.
What?
No kidding.
My goodness, I had no idea. Whoa, I didn't know that. Whoa.
Yeah, and actually since April, I've lost 56 pounds here. So anyway, so it's just amazing. So it's been a wild summer, and year, but I'm so glad it's culminating in a really good place.
So I'm sharing here. I don't know if you could see the share screen. This is actually from the Telegram group.
Yeah.
See if I can get a bigger picture of this so that moving forward, people, because if you're on your computer, you can see this, but on your cell phone, if you're watching this broadcast on a cell phone, that's going to be teeny weeny, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually we have a protocol book that we use for digestive, not just for digestive issues, but for any type of condition that you can imagine. Most of them are in there. And so this one shows how it has the diamond-shaped pattern where you have 2 carnosines and a glutathione. I believe that's the protocol that Dr. Mel used on you.
Yeah, it was, and it works. It just works. That's all there's to it.
So I had another person like yourself who he actually started in October. And Jim has different things kind of going on, like most people. And so he said, hey, is there something we can do about my gut? And I said, look in my protocol book. Let's see what's optimal for you. And so I just sent him this image today, which is why it shows at 4:14 today. I sent that to him. And so this shows you how you have a diamond shape. Basically, the patches are in a diamond formation using your glutathione and your carnosine patches. So continue on with your story. I had no idea. So in the last 2 months, you've lost how much weight again, did you say?
I've lost 20 pounds since middle of October. It's been crazy.
Wow, you must feel like a completely different woman now with your digestive issues gone, you're sleeping better, and you're 20 pounds lighter.
I know, it's amazing. It's so amazing. And I saw that when you showed that that protocol, well, about the what the SP6 does, the appetite suppressant. I think that's true. I think that does do that. I mean, I think I felt that. That's, a sense of that. So that's amazing. I did not know that. And I need to get that in print in my hands.
So I will forward that picture, that image to you so that you have it. And
yeah,
I did put, actually that was another condition that someone else had, but I will put a copy of that picture and a list of the patches. There's like 3 or 4. I'm just going to show you the book just so that, you're a nurse. So since you're I kind of smiled when you said that you're an interior designer. I'm like, of course you are. You're an interior designer, you're a nurse. And so you were a healthcare practitioner as a nurse for many years. Now you're beautifying homes and so forth. And it's like coming full circle where you're going to be doing interior design of people's bodies as you make the houses beautiful on the outside.
Oh, that's cool. Yes, I see that.
The body, because I talk about how your body is like a house. Remember, you've got the foundation of the mother stem cell, the daughter stem cell, and then you have, the fantastic 5 is glutathione, carnosine, and eon. So you are a complete holistic in every sense of the word care practitioner.
That's funny. And the name of my business is called Interior Pursuits.
So doesn't God have a funny sense of humor?
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
That is amazing. The clues are everywhere. So let me pull up really quick. Luckily, this is alphabetical. The digestive issues. Okay, so this is the one that I posted on here. It's on page. I will give you, Sally is the gal that ships out the book. So
I'm very interested in the book. How do I get it? I mean,
I will send you Sally's contact information because
okay.
I know that you're part of our group, so I can send it to you and then you can buy it from her. She ships it from Buena Park, California.
Okay, sure.
This is the digestive issue. So I'm going to hold this up as close as I can to the camera so that you guys can see. And if you see the bottom right there, it says digestive issue.
Oh, yes. I see it.
And then as you look at that, you can see the model there. They've got eon is the first thing listed for option 1, then carnosine, then glutathione. And if you look here, I'm going to switch the page. You get to pick which one of the options you want to do. And to be honest with you, with people, I usually pick the one that has the least number of patches because I like to do the KISS method, which is keep it simple, silly, or the original is keep it simple, stupid, but I'm just trying to nice it up. Nice it up, right? But you see here that the protocol, and, I will always say, and, as a nurse, we always have to say, we don't cure, we don't heal, we don't treat, we don't diagnose. These are recommendations, and we are just simply advising you based on many, 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 many years of experience. We have thousands of doctor hours that came into putting this book together and that continued to apply this and refine this. So this particular option 2, you'll see that it's energy enhancer on 2 acupuncture points and carnosine. And in your case, I think you have everything except energy enhancer. I don't know. I don't think you picked up energy enhancer.
I haven't, but I might need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you may want to do that. So, so this one here, you see how you have glutathione. The first 2 are listed here as glutathione. Oh yeah, glutathione. I'm sorry, glutathione, and then carnosine, and then over on the far right, things are backwards on the computer, and then Eon over here. So I believe this was the protocol that she put you on: 2 carnosines, a glutathione, and an Eon.
I didn't put the carnosine on there. I don't know where to put the carnosine. She didn't specifically say that. All I have is the Aeon, X39, glutathione, and SP6. Does carnosine right beside one of them?
So yeah, so in this one we have on, let's see, on this side, you'll see that there's 2. I wanted to make sure that you can read it: carnosine, and then below that you have glutathione.
Okay, so there's 2 carnosines.
So 2 carnosines and an Eon.
Okay.
So if you need clarification with her, you can always, you can text her through Telegram. That's the beauty. I love the fact that once we get on these stem cell activation patches, you got a 20-minute consultation. You got a bonus. You got Dr. Mel and you got Dr. Stacy.
That's crazy. Yeah. And they both chimed right in. It was amazing. But
yeah. And they're the most down-to-earth, brilliant humans, and the level of expertise that you're getting. And you don't have an extra charge for that. That's something that comes, with the patches, and you and anyone who you share or you introduce to this patch, technology that decides to get started, they get the same benefit. And so to me, that's like, wow. And I just talked to somebody earlier today, and he was talking to his dad because he said, wow, he goes, he's a surfer and he works in a hospital setting, and he does business development and marketing for them. And he goes, wow, Dad, he goes, this is actually something that actually worked for me. I actually slept better, and the pain from my shoulder is actually gone. So I'm starting on these patches. And his dad said, look, son, that stuff costs north of $8,000. He goes, I've been looking at stem cell technology, and it's going to cost at least $8,000 on up. And so he asked me today, and I go, well, that's typically, what the injections and the IV, there's also PRP. Typically, yeah, that's normally true. However, these don't have stem cells, and these are stem cell activation patches. And basically you can get the Fantastic 5, for a gold pack for $499. You can even get a silver pack where it's like $369. So for $369, you can get on 5 patches, which is what you started off with. And then, that's the foundation. And then because of your digestive issues, then of course we have to add the SP6. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, now you're aware of the energy enhancer, and you're going, okay, this protocol in the book shows energy enhancer. So you might want to pick up energy enhancer, and you're not doing this blind. You're not only going by the protocol book, but now you've got a whole group. We have 711 doctors and holistic care practitioners who you can confer with and get a good professional opinion as to whether it behooves you to go into that direction. And then, of course, I always tell people your own body intelligence. If this is resonating with you, your first instinct, your first intuition, your first gut feeling about it, if it resonates with you, go with that. It's only your left brain, your ego, that wants to keep you in the familiar past and unchanging, that will say, well, maybe no. And it gives you doubt. It gives you negativity. It gives you, yeah, but maybe it works for everybody else, but not for me. And to that, I say, listen, no one is so special that they will not react. They will not benefit from turning on their stem cells. Because listen, cats, dogs, horses, other mammals that are not human beings, they don't have egos. So they don't have that negative left thinking brain. So the moment we put a stem cell activation patch, I have yet to hear of a single person that has put a used, let alone a new stem cell activation patch on their animal. We're talking I had one lady who put it on a parakeet. And I'm like, how did you put it on your parakeet? She goes, I just put it on the back of my parrot, on the dorsal part of the parakeet. I go, but there's feathers. She's like, I know, but I put it on there and immediately it sprung up. And I was like, oh, they're reacting to the energy right away. So every single animal that people have put these patches on, all of them have had pets. And they're like, my animal, all of a sudden they, like one, Eve Connolly, she's back east. She said the moment she she rescues horses, and one of her horses that was really old. I say was because it's not old anymore, but it was old, and it was always kind of like droopy. And the moment she put the stem cell activation patch on, it was towards the neck of the horse. She said the first thing, she goes, she wished she would have known it was going to be such a visible reaction because she didn't know.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay.
The eyes went up, and immediately it went from like this to all of a sudden like this. It was the most extraordinary thing. She's like, oh my gosh, to have been able to capture that on video would have been so. But she had no idea that this 2-ton animal was going to go from being, old and dreary to all of a sudden, immediately it just came to life. The eyes were wide open and awake. And then it's kind of looking around like, what is that? I can feel that. And her horse has been fine ever since. And so we can deny that this is working. It's going to still work. However, if you agree that you want this to work, it's going to work obviously even better.
Right.
You and I, as we know the science behind how the body responds to, it's chemistry. Our chemistry is different when we're in a loving, positive state. If we're in a negative, fearful state, we have high cortisol, high C-reactive proteins. Our adrenals are going overtime. That monkey brain, the hippocampus is going nuts, going fight or flight,
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Wow. I need to do that to my dog. I mean, it was my son's dog that we're having here. Yeah, I think I'm going to, do you use the used ones, right? Or do you use?
So you could use, I'm going to share with you. There's, this is Kathy, who, this is back in, I think it was like September. Yeah, I think it was like September. Her dog, she put her used patches. So some people will put new patches, especially, horse owners. We actually have, for example, like the Ice Wave patch, that's a pain management patch. So we have AccuLife, which is the exact same patch. There's no difference between an Ice Wave patch and an AccuLife patch. The only thing is that the AccuLife patch is named AccuLife, and the sleeve is named AccuLife and branded for veterinarians and for people to use with animals, animal, okay? But in terms of the crystals and what the patch is, it's the identical patch as Ice Wave, which is just a pain management patch to turn off pain receptors, okay? So Kathy, in this particular case, Kathy, you can see that Kathy's dog has a cataract, had a cataract.
Sure. Yeah.
See, it's a pretty big gray spot.
Yes, I see it. Mm-hmm.
And not only is the cataract gone, you see how
wow.
But this was in about 2 months, not only was the cataract gone, but the dog's original hair color was restored.
Now, where did they put the patch? On the back of the neck?
Under his collar. They just put it under his collar. So some people, depending on the type of dog and the amount of hair that the dog has, they'll tape it to the head or behind the collar. If they don't wear a collar, you could just tape it like with surgical tape.
So do you put it on every 12 hours still, or is it, okay, it's the 12-hour thing?
You still do the 12 hours. So when you take yours off, you just put them on your dog, your cat, your horse. Yeah. Somebody today sent me a video of someone who they actually have goats, deer, and she actually had a little pig. It's the first time I ever see this. I should show it to you. Because I've never seen anybody teach and train a little pig to do tricks just like a dog, but it was a pig.
Oh goodness. I know they're really smart. I mean,
apparently they're smart, but it was a pig acting like a dog. And I say acting like a dog because it did all the little tricks, circles with treats, just like, here's Jay, there she is. Wait till you see this.
Okay, good morning. It is 6 o'clock in the morning and Bruce and I are treat training. Okay, Bruce Wayne, come here, sit.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, I love it.
Wait. Okay, this is so much.
Oh my goodness.
Ready? Spin.
Look at that.
That's my-
Oh my goodness.
Is that not adorable?
He's happy too. I mean, he's happy to help to do it. Oh,
He's a good
oh.
baby. Treat training a pig is so easy. Cranberries, Cheerios, doesn't matter. They'll eat them.
It's the food. It's the motivation.
Is
Just like
that
all of us, right?
so? That's why I say mammals. If you are a mammal, human or animal, the stem cells, because we have stem cells, that's what we're conceived with. Once we are conceived, then the stem cells start replicating. You know that from biology and physiology and anatomy.
Mhm.
And so, and it's our body's own, this is a class 1 medical device, FDA compliant. And the beauty about this is that the power source to this medical device, we're the battery, because we're the ones with the infrared light that bounces off of these stem cell activation batches that reflect back into our blood to turn on, depending on whether it's a mother, a daughter stem cell patch, or one of the supportive patches that we talked about, like glutathione, carnosine, and eon, and SP6. So, yeah, very fantastic.
I love it.
Do you want to share with our viewers and our listeners here?
I just recommend it. I mean, I think if it doesn't matter what kind of issue you have, if it's part of your body, if you have an issue in your body, one or a combination of these patches is going to do it. It's going to help you. And I can't say that it's for sure 100% just because, but I'm telling you, with the testimony that I had, I would recommend you try it. You got to just try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Just try it and see what happens. We have everything to gain and nothing to lose because the company
That's
offers a 30-day money back guarantee. If you feel, and I really say, it doesn't really, I always am very transparent with people. I say, listen, there's no contracts, there's no agreements. It really would behoove you to make a mental commitment to do this for 12 months.
Yes.
Normally the human body, and I'm sure you would concur because we know from medical research, and they teach you this, in the university and med school, they teach us, and in nursing school, they teach us that it takes the body about 7 years to replace all 56 trillion cells in the body without stem cell activation patches. Now we know from the science, we have 90 scientific studies, independent scientific studies, and we know from blood tests, we actually have measured this. We know that after 12 months of being on the patches, your biomarkers will actually show, no matter what your chronological age is, that the hands of time have rolled back anywhere from 16 to 20 years. So in the course of what would normally take you 7 years, inside a year, you're repairing and restoring everything in your body. So why wouldn't you do that for yourself? Why would you cut yourself short and then after 30 or 60 days punch out? It's like, let's repair everything, because we all have things that we're not aware of because maybe they're at the beginning stages, so they're not a pain point. So let's repair and restore everything in the body. After 12 months, if you want to quit, well, now your body you got a replacement of all of your cells from your original blueprint. In theory,
Right.
The next 20 years, you could not be on the patches because your body is going to probably even be better than what you were at the same age 20 years prior, because now everything has been restored, in a very short time frame, 5, 10, 15, at whatever point, 6 months, doesn't matter, at whatever point in time, if you choose, what, I've been 20 years younger, maybe I want to roll back another 5 years. It's up to you. You can restart, you can stop at any time. There's no, it's whatever you choose. It's your health. So
That's right. And with what's going on in the world, we need this kind of thing all the more, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Deborah, thank you so much for sharing your story. My friends and gems, if you know Deborah, if Deborah has been sharing with you about the stem cell activation patches, if she is your stem cell educator, the one who is sharing her story with you, I would highly encourage you to get back to Deborah or to whoever it was who gave you the link to this video. And we make it a real big point. We're very heavy on the educational side. I think Deborah would concur. The most important thing is that you begin to learn you realize, recognize, begin to understand how your body works and how you can benefit from these stem cell activation patches. And I really pride myself in giving you information at the rate and speed that you can consume it, because I want you to really take charge, not because I said, not because of a research study, but because this is truly the best thing for you. And as I said before, all mammals can benefit from the stem cell technology. The question now becomes, are you willing to take a step in at least investigating and starting to get educated and understanding enough to make the decision, yeah, I want to go ahead, do something as easy as putting these patches on as we sit here. I'm going to show you mine. They're right there on the back of my neck. And my friends and gems, I guess that's it. So thank you for tuning in, tapping in, turning on. Deb, thank you for joining us from the central part of the country in Iowa, where you're awaiting a snowstorm. Hopefully it's short-lived and it's not a full 3 days.
Yes, I agree.
Hopefully it's only just a day and it'll just pass through and it'll be mild, and then things will clear up so you have a snow-filled Christmas, but you can still get out and about.
That's it. That's right.
Okay, take care, my friend and Jim. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao for now.